welcome live streamers. For those of you who are watching us live, this is
or
like
catching the replay.
or catching the replay. This is the unfiltered episode. This is what it looks like before we do all our post-production magic on the episode itself. So I think with that, if you've got questions, if you're watching us live, feel free to drop them into the chat. I think we'll circle back on that at the end if we see any new ones.
Definitely.
But otherwise, I think we'll go right into the podcast recording itself. So let me put on my narrator podcast voice. Welcome to the Kpopcast. I'm your host, DJ Peter Lowe.
And I'm your PD Nim and level 1.5 Korean Master Michaela.
And for this episode, we'll be taking a look behind the scenes at an essential source of the English-speaking K-pop community for the past decade. It's colorcodedlyrics.com. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
I'm Lucas. I'm an editor for Color Coded Lyrics.
And I'm Lita. I'm an author at Color Coded Lyrics.
And Michaela, I forgot how we wanted to wrap up this intro section. I could just say something.
I guess we can just move on to the thanks for joining us.
Okay.
And
okay.
Then add the tweet. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We definitely describe Color Coded Lyrics as the backbone of our K-pop society, but I think Twitter user Motivate J put it best when they said, "Tell them they are the backbone to our society, an icon, a legend, the mother I never had, the sister everybody wants, and the friend everybody deserves."
So what is Color Coded Lyrics? With that super hype, what is this unstoppable force in K-pop? So I'm wondering, for some
listeners who aren't too familiar with you guys.
So we are a website that I go first, Mila, then you
go ahead, Lucas.
So we are a website that posts lyrics for songs in Korean, Japanese, Thai, Chinese, and others with romanization so everybody can sing along. And also we color code the lyrics so you guys know which members are singing which part of the song.
And we also try to cater to different varieties of music. So of course we do the mainstream K-pop, like the BTS, the Twice, the big acts. But we also try to find smaller acts. For example, some people in our team do boy groups. I do a lot of R&B, like very underground artists that people may not know, because I want them to know I do a lot about it, because I'm a ballad lover.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to expose everyone to more music.
So 10 years strong. How did you guys come into being? What happened? Was it always just you two? Was it a team of people? Was it something that just just spoke to you one day? You know what? We need to be able to see the lyrics by member. We need to see the lyrics of our favorite songs in more accessible languages. So how did Color Coded Lyrics come into existence?
Sure. So Color Coded Lyrics was started by our founder. Her name is Kat. She's a little bit shy, so she didn't want to participate in this. But I believe she was in high school, and she was very into K-pop, and it was 10 years ago. So the internet, it wasn't how big as it is right now. So she decided to start a webpage. It wasn't originally called Color Coded Lyrics. I believe it was JK Pop lyrics or something like that, something very silly. And she started color coding lyrics just for fun, once a week. And as time grew by, she kept doing it more and more and kept finding people that were interested and kept asking for more songs. And one day she got the idea to buy the domain and to add a couple more people. Ever since then, it's grown. I think right now we have 10 people in our team. And we try to coordinate almost every artist, and we try to make sure that no one gets left behind, because we know how the K-pop world is. If we miss someone, they'll be like, "Are you not a fan?" So we try to
Yeah.
cater to every single person out there.
So many fandoms. So many fandoms.
So many fandoms.
It's like, are
Me
you
included.
anti?
When I wasn't included, I was like, why? Are you an anti? Why didn't you got 7? Like, they're the best. Why is it not out there? So we try to listen to everyone, and we accept feedback on everything. And I believe feedback is what's kept us going strong, that we always listen to what the public wants.
Maybe take us through a day in the life. Like, how does work get disseminated amongst the team? How do you decide, okay, we know this release is coming up, this person's gonna be on it? Like, what's your typical work process like?
The whole process.
We have a list of upcoming comebacks that we keep track of. We also have a Discord chat where we discuss stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, so in the past years, we used to just have a chat in WordPress, but recently we started doing a Discord chat where we try to coordinate. We fact check different websites to make sure we have every comeback that's coming. And we also have requests from people that visit our site. So we may have missed a smaller band, like a newer, like let's say Secret Number, who just debuted. We may not have been aware of them, so they tell us. We add them to our list. And each morning, because I believe they release at 18-hour Korean, so it depends on where you are. So whoever is up, we let each other know, hey, I'm going to start working on this song. And if we get any stuck, we need help with anything, we ask each other help. And after we're done, we ask if they're a newer person, they usually ask for help, make sure it's okay, to make sure that the song is coded correctly. But if they're like a veteran, like Lucas, he just goes ahead and posts it. And if there's anything wrong, we always listen to our commenters, and they will let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Never afraid, those internet K-pop stan warriors. What does it mean to actually like work on a song? Like, do you guys all just know Korean inside out, or how, like, do you go to the music video? Like, where do you go? And then to start beginning that transcription?
Yeah. Peter, can you ask that again? Was that Carson in the background?
Oh, yeah, that's my son. And my wife. Say hello. Carson my toddler, he just turned 2 yesterday. All right. So the question again is, how...
He wants daddy.
Oh, God. What is the work process actually, or excuse me, let me say that again. What does it mean to begin translating a song or to begin work on lyrics? Do you guys go to the music video and start translating from Korean itself, or how does that work?
Yeah. Are there online sources where you find the Korean lyrics?
Sure. So if there's a music video, we usually tend to look at that first. And that's, if they have English translation, that's where we get it, because if that's the source, we believe we should keep the integrity of what the artist intended of the lyrics to be in English. Otherwise, we go to music on Naver, Genie, Flow. So all the Korean charts, they usually post the official lyrics, and we start from there. And we have the owner of the website, Kat. She coded a program a couple years ago that actually romanizes every single syllable. So that's very helpful. So we don't actually have to type in every single character. We just put the lyrics in there. And it does some errors here and there, because, you know, computers are never 100% right.
Yes.
But 99% of the time it's perfect. And then we listen to it and make sure that it's correct. And if it is, we do. And if not, we make a note, because the program is ever changing. So, and once we know, we start coding. And if it's a known group, like let's say BTS, and everyone knows their voices, so they're pretty easy to code. But if it's a smaller group, we tend to take our time. We don't we don't really care that it might be like 3 hours late after the release, because we rather have the quality over the quantity.
Do you guys ever notice across the different platforms, for example, I myself, sometimes when I'm watching a music video on the artist YouTube page and then the music video on somewhere like 1TheK, where you'll see like two music videos uploaded at the same time, sometimes I notice that there's different ways that they're transcribed, even though I guess they're both like an original source. Like, how do you decide, okay, which path?
Is the more true?
Sure. So we have a couple people in our team who speak Korean, and when it's that case, we usually ask them which one sounds more right, and they try to go more for the feeling, because songs in the end are poems. They're more about feeling. Especially when you're translating any language to English, if you do a literal translation, it's never going to translate right.
Right.
For example, the new Stray Kids song, it's like the God's menu. It's saying, "This is our soup." We don't translate it to "This is our soup." It's just, it would make no sense whatsoever.
Why not though? That's one of my favorite parts about some K-pop songs. Fantastic Elastic, baby. Elastic Fantastic.
But if we do have, like you said, if we have, let's say, a 1TK translation and the official translation from the channel, we usually try to use the channel one, just because 1TK tends to be fan subbed most of the time. Meanwhile, the original channel is for translation.
Yes, and the artist channel is more focused on that artist, so they know what the artist is trying to say. Unlike the Cave, that is just a randomly person to translate. So the channels are more accurate.
Michaela, did you want to ask the next question?
Would that be K?
I was thinking G.
G? Okay. Yeah, so when it comes to that, how do you decide which songs get translated and which songs, might not be translated or translated at a later time? Like, is it mostly like follow what's coming out every week, or is there something else?
Well, we don't really translate songs. We search it up on the internet for reliable sources. Like there's this website called Kpopcast. Most of our translations comes from them, and they're very reliable, very accurate. And if we cannot find a translation on Kpopcast, we usually try to go on Twitter to find fan translations. We also contact them to make sure we have their authorization to use the translation, and that's it.
Yeah, and just to backbone on what Lucas said, I think that's something, a misconception that a lot of people have about us. They always tend to get mad about us that we don't translate. We would love to translate every song, trust me. I want to know every single song from my favorite artist, what they're saying. Unfortunately, we don't have too many people on our team right now that speak Korean. Maybe in the future, once we become bigger and more people decide to join our team and maybe know Korean or Chinese, any other language that can help us, we would translate more songs. We have, I believe it's one person that speaks normal Korean and then one person that speaks Korean. So songs here and there get translated. I believe like Day 6, the person that spoke Korean, she translated a couple of their songs. But for the majority, we try to go through reliable sources.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like just an unsurmountable scale of just like the amount of music people are producing every single day.
The amount of groups that debut every week.
Yeah.
We have a list going on every artist, big and small, and you would not be surprised, especially June. Like, I have a full-time job. I'm like a grown adult with a full-time job, and I do this as a hobby. And the amount of songs, sometimes I'm like, how are we going to do this? It's every single artist and their mom decided to come out in June.
When you're looking at that backlog, like especially like the throwbacks, the older B-sides, like how do you decide like which ones are worth?
First gen,
yeah.
gen.
So we usually take priority on the newer songs, the ones that come out today, just because we know that's the one fans have been waiting on. And if we do end up a little early, some days we might have only one release a day. We have a little page that you can request any song that we haven't done. So we have people requesting JYP songs from 1995. We have people requesting songs from artists I've never heard of that might have debuted 3 years ago. So we try to cater to everyone. So if it's easy, we'll do it. If it's not, we'll take our time. Sometimes it's just not possible to do all of the songs that everyone wants. I believe right now we have a backlog of like almost 1,000 songs we need to do. So hopefully we'll have that 2.0 one day. But for right now, we're trying to do the best we can.
Right.
So I guess upon hearing about this process, maybe this isn't relevant, but I think I'll pose it anyway. One of our listeners, she was on our last episode, Ashley of Multifaceted ACG asked, how do you handle sticky translation, since there are moments when a literal translation isn't always an option? How do you decide which words to share with their audience? I get the context, but...
Sure. So like I was talking earlier, that Stray Kids song, we could have put "This Is Our Soup," but we believe that that's probably not what they're like. That's what they intended, but they probably found means too. But it also is kind of like a sound effect, like saying like, "This is our voice, what we want to do." And like I also mentioned earlier, songs are poems, so we try to take the feeling. It's a little tricky. We try to put it in. We might put an author's note at the end, and we listen to what other people might say. They might be like, you know what, we want "This Is Our Soup," and if people want them, we will change it to
that. Are there favorite songs that you like translating or putting up? Are there types of songs that you enjoy transcribing for color-coded lyrics?
Yeah, because it's assumed that you all are fans of K-pop, so you must have your own groups that you like.
Oh,
I'll let Lucas talk, because I know he has the groups he likes.
Well, I really like Red Velvet, so I try to post them as much as I can. And there's this author, Ashley. She speaks Japanese. She really posts a lot of Japanese groups. She also translates sometimes for us, so that's great.
And I'm going to give a shout out to a couple people on our team. So we have Sarah, Sophia, and Sandy, who all three of them love boy groups. They love boy groups to death. So they are the boy groups experts. Like once it's out, 10 minutes later, they have it done. And like I mentioned, I think I mentioned it before we started recording, I do majority like newer artists, underground. I love R&B, hip hop. So you'll see me do some Jackie Way. I don't think too many people know about her. I do a lot of underground people, like, and new groups. I love all the new girl groups that come out. I feel like they're so pretty and their voices are so pretty. So I'm mostly doing those.
I feel you. Girl group stand right here too.
Are there any trends that you've noticed over the years in terms of lyrical styles, way lines are distributed by a group? Have they been consistent since, like, say, 1995 to now? Or are there new emerging trends that you're seeing, especially in recent years?
Well, these days, the song titles are more like random words, like dum dum, la la li la, dum dum. Lots of songs are coming out this way. And about distribution, I think before, in the second generation, a lot of groups used to sing the chorus together, but not just one or two members, the main vocalists, sing the chorus together. So that's changed. I think that's interesting.
I think we also see the difference between ballads and more underground songs. The titles tend to be way longer. Like some of them look like sentences. Meanwhile, if it's an artist that's very well known in the West, so like a group or an artist, they tend to keep it short, very Americanized. If they don't put in an English word, Yes, if they don't put an English title, they usually do something that's very catchy to the ear. So I think, is it Sunmi that's coming out with Buddy? I don't remember, but something that once you hear it, you won't get it out of your head.
Mm.
They also include more, not only in the title, but the lyrics have more English raps. Like for example, Blackpink, Kill This Love, the rap is all
Oh,
in
right,
English
yeah.
because they try and cater more to the American audience. So they also have way more English lines than before.
When did you start to see that happening? That the English raps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when artists started going to perform in the US, like BTS started performing there, like Girl Generation 2 back then. After that, a lot of raps were in English.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say it started probably like in the middle of the third generation. So I want to say probably like starting 2016, 2017, way more English rap started happening and more English incorporation into the song.
So, on that note, are you seeing other languages that? Sorry, Carson, leave it. Are you seeing other languages besides English that K-pop groups are taking on and incorporating in the lyrics of their songs?
Because
There's
we always talk
Definitely.
about how there was the Latin pop wave of the past few years and the introduction of more, not a lot, but a few Spanish lines and songs.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming with Spanish. They even have songs sung entirely in Spanish, like Super Junior released a cover and it's all in
Right.
Spanish. I think GOT7 to release a song in Spanish. More artists, so I can remember.
Yeah, I want to say that Spanish is probably the biggest market they cater to apart from English. We see groups like Card, Super Junior who have been like dominating the Latin American charts for years now. There's a Latin American K-pop group. And now newer groups that like Lucas said, GOT7, they released the whole complete, GOT7, they released the song completely in Spanish.
Yeah.
So I think that market is growing, especially in the next couple of years. They'll start releasing more songs in Spanish and hopefully other languages, because I believe that every K-pop fan should be able to find a song that they like from their favorite group that has some kind of like song and like a lyric in their language. So hopefully we'll see more artists singing in Arabic and maybe French and any like Arabic. I think I said Arabic again, sorry. But just any like other language, especially one group that I'm looking out for, Secret Number. They're the first K-pop girl group with an Indonesian member. I'm waiting for that Indonesian lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw it in second generation that labels were trying to deliberately bring on members who can sometimes be the translator and also be the what's the metaphor I'm going for? Like the bridge into a new market.
The token.
Well, hopefully not tokenizing, but yeah. I from my vantage point, it certainly seems like Latin America is like increasingly becoming number one market, but like I don't have any numbers to back that up. I don't know if you guys think like, okay, which of these are probably going to be the hottest? Which are these going to rise in popularity based off of their translations?
No, but we've definitely seen Spanish way more groups just either collaborating with Spanish artists or singing even raps in Spanish, like covering other group songs in Spanish. I believe the next wave might be them tapping into the Indian market. That's a like a market that's humongous. And I've seen hints here and there of like styles of music that they've been using that's more appealing for the fans of that country. And I believe that might be the next move for a lot of companies.
So that's your prediction. Next wave, India.
That's the next wave for me.
Look out for it.
Look out for it.
What about China?
All right.
before, I think a lot of
It's a little
groups,
tricky now.
Right. Kind
a
of
lot of groups,
geopolitical things going on.
yeah, before a lot of groups tried China, but I think nowadays they're just focused on other markets like the US and Latin America. No, even Japan.
Huh. Interesting.
Lucas, can you say that again just a little louder?
I think that artists are focused more on an American market or Japan, not China. China was in the past, let we can say it like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just moving on to our next question here.
Mm.
Um,
Did we want to go to K?
yeah, that's what I
Or
was about to bring up.
okay.
Did you want to read it, Michaela?
Sure. Yeah. So we kind of covered this a little bit, but I did want to bring in another question from Emily Heidel, another friend of the podcast, and she asks, um, "Are the people who worked for the channel slash website avid listeners of every group? And when it comes to each individual song, how do you actually know who's singing and who's not singing?"
Well, I think most of us post what the groups we like, but we do
Yeah.
have to
Obviously,
learn
you're gonna know your
groups.
faves.
Yeah, but we do have to learn groups that we don't really like. Before, for example, before Mireia joined, there are basically
Mm.
only three authors. So us three, we had to learn a lot of groups for it to be out on the website. Learn voices, we had to listen to them a lot. And when I think about it, it was a good thing because now I listen to way more groups than I did before. I discovered a lot of new artists this way.
Hmm.
Is there an example of a specific group that you were like maybe you had as homework and then they became your ultimate fave?
There is Dreamcatcher. I didn't know
Oh
them about them
yes,
at all.
yes.
And they had just come back with Fly High. I didn't know them, but I fell in love, and they're like one of my favorite groups of this
Mm.
generation.
I think for me, my favorite group would be Princeton, but then sadly they disbanded. So now I'm excited that Pinapia is back.
Yes, rest in
And
peace.
Kyla Massey just came out with her new mini album, so I just want to promote her because she's my baby.
Right.
Hi, Kyla.
But I think just.
But yeah, we do. Sorry. So we do have like our favorites. We have like I mentioned, our three authors who are very into boy groups, and I'm very into girl groups. Like Lucas and I are very into girl groups, and then we have a couple that mostly do Japanese releases. So they tend to stick to the 46, 48 groups. I don't even want to have to say their names because I'm going to butcher them, but those big groups, she tends to cater to them.
I just want to return back on the part of the question of part of Emily's question on how do you discern between members who are very similar sounding, especially if we don't have any other source to officially confirm.
Sure. So if they're a newer group, and I'm just going to take an example, MCND, I think they debuted this year. If it's the title track, we try to use the music video, and majority of the time they do a showcase. So we watch the showcase, see if anyone's singing. But for the B-sides, we try to listen to it, see if we can differentiate. Some members have a more nasally tone, some are main rappers, and all they do is rap. So those are the easiest because they don't stick majority of the time, unless it's a ballad. Right. And then if we need a couple more days, we'll have it on the side. And then they tend to do interviews, especially when they debut or when they come back. And we try to see like their tone of voices. Because when you put on headphones, it's way different than putting them on speakers. And you start to listen to the tone of their voices. And if all else fails, we try to do the best we can, and we listen to the feedback we get from the people that visit our website.
I think that there's something interesting that not everyone knows, but sometimes we filter the songs. because the songs have so much noise effect. So we filter them and remove the vocals. That way we can listen to the member better.
Are you using this is a really hot issue, right, or hot topic right now in the DJ community, I'll say, using technology to splice and filter out different elements and stems of a song. Are you using like Isotope RX7 or like AI algorithms to isolate vocals, or what are you doing?
Well, I use Audacity. You know it.
Okay.
It's really simple. I don't really know how to do that.
Okay.
I'm not a tech savvy, but Audacity is, I think it's good for us.
Yeah, just zooming in and playing with the DAW.
There's also another website. I can't remember the name, but it's open source, and you just input any MP3 file you have, and it'll differentiate and I think that's what you're talking about. It'll differentiate the vocals from the instruments, and that's kind of what we do. And then we upload it to our Discord server, and if we need help or if we can figure it out on our own.
Yeah, that, man, my day job is about AI, and that technology is getting better. More research is coming out every day, and a lot of people are fully taking advantage of one particular algorithm that people are now trying to commercialize on top of in a variety of different ways. But okay, that's a story from another time. When, like, given all that due diligence that you guys are doing to really make sure you've got the attribution for the right singer, the right person vocalizing at that moment in the song, have you ever had to make corrections, or how do you handle corrections?
Oh, all the time, at least once a day.
Oh, really?
Bigger groups, like, yep. Like I mentioned earlier, our people that visit our website are not shy. They'll tell us, like, that's not, for example, that's not Mina, that's you. Like, they'll tell us. And we usually go in. Sometimes, I'm like 25, my eyesight's not the best. So sometimes, like the colors look a little different to me than what I intended. But I think that's a good thing, like that we are a website and not any other platform. Like, let's say YouTube, that if we upload a video, it's up there forever. Unless we want to edit the whole video and upload it again, we can easily edit it and put it back exactly how it should be.
Mm-hmm. Had you ever thought about expanding into YouTube? Because I know there are a lot of very popular color-coded lyric YouTube channels out there.
I think we have. We just don't. We're still trying to get the website perfect. We're still learning. We're not. None of us are coders.
10 years later.
We want to make sure we get one sec. We might have one later. But right now we want to make sure we get the website perfect, and maybe once we have that figured out correctly, maybe go into YouTube. But we think what we've been doing for the past year has been working, and it's a hobby. For most of us, it's a hobby.
Same.
Yeah, we totally understand.
Yeah. I mean, because look, I'll be honest. When I hear the word color-coded lyrics, where my mind first heads is all the quote-unquote color-coded lyrics I see from all the many YouTube videos that are in the millions of views. It feels like honestly they're
more views
hijacking
than the original videos.
Yeah, it feels like they're hijacking your brand at times. Like, what do you guys? How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, most of them really checks us first before posting, and they get all the credits because they get more views than us. It's sad.
But they're using your guys' source.
Sorry.
But they're using your source.
We're not saying everyone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. It's, sorry, forgive me for overgeneralizing there. But going back to corrections, how do you communicate that you've made a correction? Or do you just like silently, covertly update in the night?
Sometimes we do silently. So, for example, I believe yesterday Twice's new Japanese single came out, and I coded it. I did something wrong on it. No one noticed because it was 5 minutes after I noticed that I coded a line wrong. So I just went in, very sneakily, changed it back. But if someone does mention it to us, we make sure that they're acknowledged. We tell them that, and we tell them that we're changing it. sometimes we may not agree with what they want us to change, and then we explain why. And if they have anything they want to say more, they're like, oh no, but this X, Y, and Z is fine, then we listen to them. But if they do mention something, we do let them know that we listen and we corrected it.
Have there ever been times where people are asking for like a ton of corrections or asking to fix something, but actually you guys were right to begin with? Has that ever happened? Like, misnomers or just people just like, oh, I read on this meme that it's actually this, but there's mis and disinformation out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot of times. Sometimes people come to us with corrections that they've seen on YouTube videos, like color-coded YouTube lyrics videos, and they just believe so blindly that that video is correct, but it isn't. We check and we check to make sure everything on our website is correct.
If I were you, I think that...
people sometimes...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
If I were you guys, I'd make a stink about that. I'd be like, we've got a lot of input on this. We did our due diligence, and here's what we discovered. So this is the correct way. Case closed.
Clap back on them.
Yeah. Because that can be a point of thought leadership for you guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes we also found that some artists have a stage version of a song and a studio version of a song. So for example, let's say a girl group that just came back, Nature. They're a 7-member girl group right now, but one member decided not to participate in the music video. So the music video audio is completely different from the studio version. So we're waiting to see if anyone's catch that, because we've done the music video version and we're trying to figure out the studio version.
And you label it as such on the website, like music video version, studio version?
Yes, we do.
Correct.
Sometimes we have both.
Okay. I'm going to read L, Michaela.
Okay.
So Ask Me About K-Pop also chimed in with a question. And they actually had a point. They often do shows which center around reviewing and talking about songs that all have the same name in the title.
Yeah.
So like, there's
like Beautiful,
Butterfly, I Love You.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any other, I think we discussed this earlier, but like any other things that you've seen in like trends when it comes to the name of the songs that you're seeing? Like Beautiful is on the up, Devil is on the down.
Well, Butterfly is definitely up. We've seen like 10 songs in the past 2 years that are Butterfly. Another one is commonly used where it's like Tonight. There's a lot of Tonight. And Spring. Koreans love their spring. Like every spring season, they list 20 songs that have the word spring in there.
Right.
Okay. What would you tell a K-pop fan who never really got into lyrics and just enjoyed the music itself? Like, what would you say to them?
Listens.
Like, why is it important that they need to turn on those captions, go look up color-coded lyrics? What value should they derive from this experience? What would you tell these people?
So I think that lyrics, although we may not translate 100% of the time, knowing the translation of the lyric is always important, because it may be a bop or just like playing at the disco, just not dancing the night away. But it may be thinking like about the struggles that you had while you were in high school, or the struggles that you're dealing with right now. So knowing the lyrics help connect you to the artist and grow a bond that you may not have felt before. You may have loved their music, but now you understand that they're humans too, and they probably feel the same way as you. And I think that color-coded lyrics has a place in the internet just because we all know that K-pop groups tend to have like 5, 10, even like 20 members sometimes. So sometimes it's like if you have a bias, you want to know what your bias is doing, what the role are, and just so you can cheer them on.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we also have to say thank you for your service, because we use your site all the time preparing for our own show when it comes to new groups that we're trying to learn or translations.
Is there anything else that you want, you think our listeners should know or hear about Color Coded Lyrics or the work you guys do?
Sure. So we would say thank you for visiting our website for the past 10 years. We can't wait to do 10 more years. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more tech savvy. Maybe you'll see us in YouTube at some point.
Ooh.
Maybe not. Who knows? Ooh. But we just want to say thank you, and thank you to everyone who is always commenting in our posts, letting us know what they think and saying thank you. All the volunteers, because we're all volunteers in the website. We do this for fun. We do this because we love K-pop. We love the artists, and we want more recognition. If it's a smaller artist, we want them to be worldwide, everywhere. So thank you for going into our website.
Cool. And I totally forgot that we had this section in the outline. Michaela, do you want me to do section 4?
Yeah, but before that, I did have one random
Go for
question.
it. Yeah.
Just a little random question before we wrap up. Is there any kind of like rhyme or reason to why you choose what colors you do?
Oh yeah.
Is there a specific,
So let Lucas
like this
answer
group
that.
uses this color, this person gets this color?
Well, most of the time it's random, but we do have a few themes going around. For example, girl group Nature, I decided to choose colors that reminded nature. So that's why there's a lot of members that are green. Also, Cherry Bullet, a lot of members have cherry colors. And also some other artists have pastel colors. So sometimes we do have a theme going around.
But like main bias is always a certain color. Magnet is ever. I'm just kidding. Cool.
But if an artist like does in the future end up releasing official colors, for example, Twice, we went and changed all the colors. Or Red Velvet, we like went and changed. I think it was almost like I can't remember the amount, but all of the Twice songs we ended up recoding to make sure like the colors were exactly the same. Just because we wanna, if the company took the time to pick those colors for the artist, we want to make sure we're honoring that.
And one other random question. When it comes to, we talked about this about having to go back and edit songs with maybe members not participating in the studio version, but participating in the music video. When it comes to members leaving a group and songs being re-released, do you again go back and just change that, or is it more keeping the original studio version? Where's the hierarchy when it comes to that?
We keep the original versions. If they release officially the song again with recorded parts, then we post it too.
Yeah, so just to back up on what Lucas said, if they already recorded it and released it, we keep it as is. We keep it there for the records because that's history. And if they do end up at some point releasing a new version, we go ahead and do the new version. But we like to keep that old member just because the member might not be here now, but they were at some point and they have fans out there that we feel like we don't want to erase that part of their memory.
Right.
Okay. Well,
that's it for me.
All right. So before we let y'all go, we want to know what your hashtag hit replays for this week and any other recommendations you have for our listeners. Maybe, I don't know, I guess if I can push it further, like what's a song or hit replay that is really special from the color-coded lyrics perspective in terms of how dynamic it is and the way the members balance their line distribution and what have you.
Yeah, does color-coded lyrics have a theme song?
We don't have a theme song yet. If we end up finding an artist, we may just put a little jingle as soon as you go into the website, color-coded lyrics, something like that. I think for me, it's not a hit replay right now, so I have two. One that's like current it's on my current rotation, but one that always makes me happy looking at the color-coded lyrics website is Good Evening by Shining. That one has like the perfect ratio of color-coded lines. It's right smack, I feel like it's 25% each member. And I found that so beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
I don't know about Lucas. You have a favorite song?
well, I like any A-Pink song because their colors are so beautiful. They're like the rainbow, and they look so well together. Like Dum Da Dum. Yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure just to see their colors together because it looks so good.
But if you had to pick one song from A-Pink, from the color-coded lyrics perspective, that you would recommend that our listeners go check out,
that would be Ang. They released it last year. That song's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or percent.
Percent.
That's a good one. Okay,
I don't know why more people call it percent. It's catchy. Percent.
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 All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you
for having us.
And where can our listeners find each of you online? Or this is where you plug and promote whatever project or thing that you're working on.
Sure. So you can find Color Coded Lyrics at Coded Lyrics on Twitter.